P is said to be a point on the parabola if the distance from the fixed point, I'll just mark this, this is a fixed point. And this is called fixed line. So I cannot define a parabola unless I have these two things with me. Like without center and radius, you cannot define a circle. Same way, without the fixed point and fixed line, you cannot define a parabola. Every point on this parabola will satisfy the condition. The distance from the fixed point and the distance from the fixed line should be equal. These two distance should be equal. If they are equal, then this point P is a point on the parabola. So whenever I ask you, what is the definition of parabola? Then in short, you say SP equal to PM. Of course, what does S stands for? S stands for the fixed point. And this fixed point has got a name. The name of fixed point is focus. And the line, fixed line, has got a name. Fixed line is called the directrix. Is it clear to everybody? So whenever I want to define a parabola, the first point is I must say what is the focus of the parabola? What is the directrix of the parabola? Then only I can define what is a parabola. So SP stands for point on the parabola. S stands for the focus, fixed point. PM is the perpendicular distance from the point to the directrix. Is it clear to you? Now you tell me one, if you have understood this, let me ask you one simple question. I have drawn a perpendicular here. If this point is a point on the parabola, what can you say about this segment? Let me draw Z as a Z. What can you say about this? What can you say about the point P?
ZP is equal to PS.
Very good. That means P is the midpoint. So P will be the midpoint. That means whenever I draw a perpendicular to the directrix, the midpoint of that perpendicular from the focus will be a point on the parabola. Is that clear to everybody? From this definition, what you can say? If P is a point on the parabola, distance from the focus and distance from the directrix should be equal. Distance from the focus is SP. Distance from the directrix is ZP. They both should be equal, which means this point should be the midpoint of SZ. Okay, now let me ask you a question. If this I extend to the x-axis, okay, I'll use some other color. If I'm extending this to x-axis, and I'm going to take this as the y-axis, let me take this point as the origin. Which point? This point as the origin. Let's take this distance as A. This distance as A. Which distance? From origin to P, I'm removing. Yeah, I'm removing that P word. Okay. So if this distance is A, this comes A comma 0 because this is origin. So this also will be A, but towards a negative direction. So Z coordinate will be minus A comma 0. Agreed with this much? Has everybody agreed with this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In that case, tell me what is the equation of the directrix? What is the equation of this directrix? It is a line parallel to y-axis. So whenever a line is parallel to y-axis, what you can say its equation? What can you say about its equation?
X is equal to
X will be equal to a constant,
0.
which means everywhere the x coordinate of this point on it will be same. So what is the x coordinate of Z? Minus a. So everywhere on this line, x coordinate will be minus a. So the equation of directrix will be x equal to minus a. So it is clear to you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So I have told you this much. I took this length from origin to the focus as a. So the coordinate of z will be minus a comma 0. Because directrix is parallel to y-axis, its equation should be x equal to a. Now I am going to find out what is the equation of the parabola. If I want to find out the equation of the parabola, I must take any point on the parabola and find out what condition does x comma y satisfy. I have SP is equal to PM. SP I am going to calculate by distance formula. PM I am going to calculate by logic. I know this length is A. And if I draw a perpendicular like this length will be x coordinate. So the distance from PM will be x plus A. If I square both the side, I'll get the equation of the parabola. If I expand it, so what happens? X square and A square will get cancelled. Minus 2x will come to the left hand side. So y square equal to 4ax.
4a.
And that will become the equation of the parabola. Is it clear to you? So if the vertex, if this part is the origin, the equation of the parabola will be y square equal to 4x. Is it clear to you? So I'm going to reverse it. If the equation of the parabola y square equal to 4ax, then the parabola will look like this. The focus of this parabola will be a comma 0. The directrix of this parabola will be x equal to minus a. The vertex of the parabola, what is meant by vertex? Look at this. This parabola's curve is symmetric about the x-axis. What do you mean by symmetric about the x-axis? If I keep a
Fold
mirror
it, you'll
on
get
the
equal
x-axis,
parts.
yes, if I keep a mirror on the x-axis, the reflection of the mirror will be the remaining part of the parabola. So the axis of the parabola is the x-axis. Wherever the parabola meets the axis, where does the parabola meets the axis? This point, no? And that point is called the vertex. So I'm using all definitions. Focus are defined, directrix are defined, axis are defined, and then I've defined the vertex. So first thing, let me revise from the beginning. What do you mean by focus? What do you mean by directrix? What do you mean by axis of the parabola? What do you mean by vertex of the parabola? These four definitions. How do you say, what is the definition of focus? What is focus of a parabola? In the definition of parabola, every point on the parabola satisfies a condition. What is the condition satisfied by every point on the parabola? Every point on the parabola is denoted by P. Distance from the fixed point will be equal to distance from the fixed line. The fixed point is called the focus, and fixed line is called the directrix. So if I draw a parabola like this, there'll be somewhere a fixed point. Somewhere there'll be a fixed line. Did you notice that the axis and the fixed line will be perpendicular. Did you notice this? They'll be always perpendicular. The directrix will be perpendicular to the axis for every parabola. Have you followed this? What do you call this line?
Directly.
Directrix. What do you call this one?
Focus.
Focus. When can I say P is a point on this parabola?
Fixed point and fixed line are
This distance
perpendicular.
and
Is equal
this
to this.
distance will be equal. Although my diagram doesn't look equal, but supposed to be equal. Then only this point will become a point on the parabola. And naturally, the vertex will be the midpoint of the ZS. Z and S का midpoint होगा the vertex. If the parabola has vertex as the x-axis, focus as a comma 0, directrix as x equal to minus a, then the equation of this parabola will be y square equal to 4x.
For a
Otherwise, it will not be. This parabola which I have drawn here, its equation need not be y square equal to 4x. It will have some other equation. Every parabola don't have a fixed equation. Only for this particular parabola, the equation will be y square equal to 4x. Is it clear to you? Is
Yes.
clear? I'll send you the notes, so you don't need to write the notes. I'll tell you some important things you need to write. Those things you'll have to note. So first point, standard equation, you can write down, standard equation of parabola. Is y square equal to 4x. Now draw a diagram. What I've drawn is the y-axis. Draw the x-axis. Now draw the parabola. How the parabola will be? It will be symmetric about x-axis. जैसे ऊपर है वैसे उसका रिफ्लेक्शन नीचे आएगा. Then this is x-axis, this is y-axis. This is also axis of symmetry. Then mark the focus. How much of distance you have here, exactly there you mark as Z and draw a line. And this is called the directrix. And this is called the focus. Focus. This is called the vertex. Now take any point on the parabola. P is any point on the parabola. Then mark this length. Mark this length. They should be equal. So we denote this by PM. It's a perpendicular distance. So if I take any point, so below this, if P is any point on the parabola, P is any point on the parabola, then SP will be equal to PM. Distance from the focus will be equal to distance from the directrix. And equation of this parabola. Equation of this parabola will be y square equal to 4x. What does that A stands for? This distance is A. So the coordinate of focus will be A comma 0. Coordinate of Z will be minus A comma 0. This also you mark. And the equation of directrix. Equation will be x plus A equal to 0. Equation of directrix. I hope you marked all this on the parabola. Everybody understood this?
Yes, sir.
Now, one small thing to teach you. If you're finished writing, then I can teach you that. After you finish writing, tell me. Finish writing about?
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. Now give the heading. Okay, I'll go back to this one. Now, I'm going to define what is known as lattice rectum. Lattice rectum of a parabola. So again, I'm drawing the parabola. And I'm marking the focus. I'm marking the directrix. Then I'm going to mark what is lattice rectum.
So you have to
Lattice,
write.
yeah,
You have to write.
yeah, wait one. I'll just finish it, then you write.
Okay.
This is what I've drawn as lattice rectum. What is this focus? Any chord passing through the focus. But don't write for a minute, okay? This is a chord passing through the focus. This is a chord passing through the focus. These chords are called focal chord. So what is a focal chord? A chord of the parabola, a chord which passes through the focus. Is called the focal chord. But there is one speciality in this focal chord. It is perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. So focal chord which is perpendicular to axis of symmetry is called lattice rectum. So L dash is called the lattice rectum. Is it clear to everybody? What do you call the other chords? The other chords are passing through the focus, so they are called the focal chord. But the lattice rectum is also a focal chord. But the speciality of the lattice rectum is what? It is perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. This is the axis of symmetry. It is perpendicular to it. So there'll be only one such focal chord. That focal chord is known as lattice rectum. Is it clear? Have you seen the light of a like a olden bicycles light? Have you seen? If you see the mirror inside, it's a parabolic mirror. And always the bulb is kept at the focus, so that the beams will be going parallel to the beams of light will go parallel to the, if you reflect it here, it will go parallel. So wherever it is reflecting, it will go parallel. That's why we keep a parabolic mirror for a light, even for torch. The torch that you see, the battery torches, it is all like that. The bulb is kept at the focus of the parabolic mirror, so that the reflection, the beam of light will go parallel to the axis of symmetry. Is it clear to everybody? Now, if the parabola's equation is y square equal to 4ax, what will be this length and what will be the coordinate of this point? What is the coordinate of focus? What is the coordinate of focus?
A comma 0.
A comma 0. And because it is perpendicular, everywhere x coordinate will be a only. Everywhere the x coordinate will be a only. So the x coordinate here also will be a. Agreed? So replace x coordinate by a, you will get the y coordinate, because every point on the parabola should satisfy this equation. So y square equal to 4ax. When x coordinate became a, what will be the y's value?
4a square.
Root of 4a square. So how much that will be? 2a. In
2a.
fact, you get plus or minus 2a. 1 over here and 1 over here. So my conclusion is, end point of the lattice rectum. End point of the lattice rectum is a comma 2a will be one endpoint, and a comma minus 2a will be other endpoint. And length of the lattice rectum. Length of the lattice rectum will be, can you tell me? What will be the length from here till here? The y coordinate is 2a, means this much is 2a. So this also should be 2a. So what will be the length of the lattice rectum?
4a.
4a. Note that equation of the parabola is y square equal to 4ax. That means whatever the coefficient of x is the length of the lattice rectum. So if I ask you, equation of the parabola is y square equal to 8x. What does 8 stands for?
Length of lattice.
Length of the lattice rectum. This length of this lattice rectum will be 8. Got it? Did you write this much? No.
No, sir.
No.
Start writing. Heading. Lattice rectum. Heading you write as lattice rectum. Now draw a parabola like this. Draw it like this. And draw it like this. Actually, both are supposed to be symmetric. Then mark such a way that this distance should be equal to this distance, so that the directrix will be this. I'll use some other color for directrix for that. Otherwise, you'll get confused between. This is your y-axis. This is your x-axis. This is your focus. This is a point P. Then draw the directrix. It should be passing through the focus and perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. Just 1 minute. So this is L dash. Now write the definition. First definition, focal chord. Any chord passing through the focus is called focal chord. Second, lattice rectum. A focal chord perpendicular to the axis of symmetry is called lattice rectum. You know the a comma 0 is the focus. Equation is y square equal to 4x. So x coordinate of, so let's denote this focus as L dash. The x coordinate of L will be a. So substitute in y square equal to 4x. So y square equal to 4a into a. Y square equal to 4a square. So y is plus or minus 2a. So the coordinate of L will be a comma 2a and L dash will be a comma minus 2a. Therefore, length of L dash will be 4a. Therefore, the length of the lattice rectum is 4a. So much you have to know about the lattice rectum. After finished writing, tell me. Okay. So first I'm going to, there are how many total standard parabola? 4 standard parabola. We have learned only about one parabola. Now we are going to talk about the other parabola. Now you don't write anything, just keep on listening to me. This is x and y axis I have drawn. Okay. Now this is the parabola like this. You understood now that when I give you the example of the bicycle's light or auto rickshaws light. Have you seen? It's somewhat this shape, you know it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
if
sir.
you make it like this one round here, then become exactly. Okay, this is a parabola. Where is its focus? Here. Where its directrix? Over here. What is the speciality of any point on the parabola? If you take a point, distance from the focus and distance from the directrix will be equal. So much is clear?
Yes, sir.
And now, what do you call this point? This point, what do you call? What is the name of this point?
Vertex.
Vertex. What is the name of this line?
Directed.
What do you call this point? Focus. Then, if I draw a perpendicular here, let me use some other color. Okay. What do you call this? What is the name of this chord?
Lattice
Vector.
Lattice Rectum. Is it clear? That much is a necessity that every student should know. Now I'm going to draw. I'm going to write down all the required. What is the focus of this parabola? Focus of the coordinate of the focus is a comma 0. What is the equation of directrix? Equation of directrix. This is a directrix. So what is its equation? X equal to minus a, or you can write x plus a equal to 0. Then you must know what is the vertex of this parabola. Vertex of this parabola is the origin. Then you must know what is the axis of this parabola. Axis of the parabola is, axis means axis of symmetry, is the x-axis. And its equation is y equal to 0. You know that on x-axis equation is y equal to 0. Fine. Any doubt, please tell me, okay? These things you have to learn by heart. This is the, without that you won't understand any question on parabola. Then what do you need? End point of the lattice rectum. One focus is a comma 0, so the lattice rectum center also will have the same a, but y coordinate will be 2a, and here will be a comma minus 2a. So the end point of the lattice rectum are a plus or minus 2a. Then comes the length of the lattice rectum. Length of lattice rectum.
4A.
Yes, very good. Is 4a. I hope you understood this.
Yes.
Now one more thing. I told you a is positive. Y square is positive. So what can you say about x? Should it be positive or negative? Or can it be both? What did I say? Square of a number is positive. A is also positive. So what can you say about x?
So
Nobody
both.
to answer.
So both. Positive, negative.
If y square is positive, the left hand side is positive. 4a is also positive. So x should be what? Can x be negative?
No.
No. So x got to be positive. That's why the parabola lies in the first quadrant and the fourth quadrant. In first and fourth quadrant, the parabola is positive. Every point on it, x coordinate will be positive. Now you tell me here, what can you say about x?
Negative.
It got to be negative. So which quadrant the parabola should lie?
Second and fourth.
Second and third, right?
Yes, sir.
Now be careful, okay? What I'm explaining to you, please pay attention. Others also answer once in a while. So the parabola will be like this. Parabola will be like this. Focus will become here. Focus is always inside the parabola. And the directrix will be equidistant and it will be this. Now can you tell me all the parts of this parabola? Can be parts of this parabola? Focus will be what? What will be the coordinate?
Minus A.
Very good. Minus a.
0.
Directrix.
X is
If
equal
this
to
minus a
A.
comma 0,
Yeah.
this will be a comma
X
0.
equal to A.
X
X
equal.
is equal to A.
What about the vertex? Is it the same or different?
Same.
Same. Axis of symmetry, x-axis only.
X axis.
Yeah. Its equation is y equal to 0. Now, end point of the lattice rectum, what will happen to that? I told you, The focus and the endpoint of the lattice rectum will have the same x coordinate, right? So if the focus is having x coordinate minus a, the endpoint of the lattice rectum will have minus a as the x coordinate, and the y coordinate will be plus or minus
Plus or
a.
minus 2a.
Length cannot change; it will remain as 4a. Did you understand this parabola? Followed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, can you tell me how will be this parabola? Here, x can be square. The left-hand side is a square. A is positive. So what about y? What should be y? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. So so the parabola will lie. Y coordinate will be positive, means which quadrant it will lie?
Smiling
First and
parabola,
First
na?
and second.
Second and
First and second.
first.
First.
Smiling parabola.
I didn't get you.
Smiling parabola.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Very good. Smiling parabola. Correct. So it will open upward. This will be the parabola. Now the focus will be here. Directrix will be here. Now because it is on the y-axis, the x coordinate and y coordinate will get interchanged. Equation of the directrix become y is a constant.
y minus
Y equal to minus a. Vertex will remain the same. Axis of symmetry became y-axis,
Y-axis.
and its equation become x equal to 0.
Equal to 0.
I told you the focus is 0, a. So here also the y coordinate will be a. The x coordinate will be 2a.
2a.
So plus or minus
Minus 2a.
2a, a.
Comma
Did you
a.
notice this part? A, wherever a, it will be a only. Wherever 0, that part will become plus or minus 2a. Here focus is minus a, 0 will become plus or minus 2a. And length will not change. Understood? Can you tell me what about this parabola? Here y got to be negative, right? Then only left-hand side is positive, right-hand side will be positive only if y is negative. Do you understand that part?
Yes, sir.
So if I'm drawing this parabola, how that parabola will be? Y negative means which quadrant?
Third
Third and fourth.
Third and fourth. So the parabola will be like this. The focus will be here. Directrix will be here. So x-axis, y-axis. So 0, minus a will be the focus. And y equal to a will be the directrix. Correct? So we can write here 0, minus a, y equal to a, vertex no change.
0, 0.
Y-axis will be the axis, whose equation will be x equal to 0.
0.
Then focus, length of end point of the lattice rectum. End point of the lattice rectum will be
Plus or minus 2a minus or minus
and length will be 4.
4a.
This is a table which you have to learn today. And the problems are based on this table. I hope you understand. Or following parabola. What are the things you have to do? Sketch first. Then you must write its focus, find coordinate of focus. Equation of directrix. Then end point of the lattice rectum. Axis of symmetry. Equation of axis of symmetry. Then end point of the lattice rectum, length of the lattice rectum. That's it. So I'm going to write the equation. You must do all this. So the first equation I'm going to write is 5y square minus 24x equal to 0. I'll write it properly. I'll write once again. 5y square minus 24x equal to 0. First and foremost thing, y is quadratic and x is linear, then it is an equation of a parabola. Or x is quadratic, y is linear, y is of degree 1, it's an equation of parabola. Okay. So first of all, you will write it as y square equal to 24x divided by 5, which is of the form y square equal to 4x. So when you compare, you see 4a is 24 by 5. From this, a's value will get. So the first thing is to get a's value. Then how y square equal to 4x looks like? Look at this. Y square equal to 4x looks like this. So the sketch will be like this. Sketch it this way. So the focus will be here. Directrix will be here. This is sketching. Now you will have to write what? Coordinate of focus. So write S coordinate. What is the focus formula? A comma 0. Replace your A. 6 by 5 comma 0. So it is clear. Are you writing with me or listening? Writing. Okay. Equation of directrix is x equal to minus a. X equal to minus a. So here equation of directrix. X equal to minus 6 by 5. That which can be written as 5x plus 6 equal to 0. That will be the equation of directrix. Then this is over. End point of the lattice rectum. Just have a look at the focus 6 by 5. So it will be a comma plus or minus 2a. So 6 by 5 comma plus or minus double of it, 12 by 5. Then length of the lattice rectum, which is 4 times a, which is nothing but this coefficient, 24 by 5. Then units. Then axis of symmetry. Which is axis of symmetry? X-axis. What is its equation? Y equal to 0. I hope all of you understood. Yes or no?
Yes.
So y square equal to minus 20x. You will compare this with y square equal to minus 4x. You compared with y square equal to minus 4x. So 4a became 20. So a became 5. And because x should be negative, so it will lie in second and third quadrant. So your diagram will lie in second and third quadrant. So the focus will be negative. So minus a comma 0. What is a vertex?
A comma,
Yeah.
A comma is 0, 0.
Directrix will be exactly opposite of the focus. So x equal to 5. Equation of directrix. End point of the lattice rectum, both will have the same a. A is minus 5 here. -5 comma plus or minus double of it. -a comma plus or minus 2a. Length of the lattice rectum 4a, that is equal to 20. Axis of symmetry is x-axis.
Y.
Y equal to 0. That is the equation of axis of symmetry. Next one will be like this. X square equal to minus a. So y is negative. Y negative in third and fourth quadrant. So third and fourth quadrant. So parabola will be like this. So the focus will be here. Directrix will be here. X-axis, y-axis. So because it focuses on the y-axis and negative side, 0 comma minus a. 4a is 8. So a is 2. Vertex 0, 0. Directrix is y is equal to a. End point of the lattice rectum. Focus is -2 here. So plus or minus 4 comma minus 2. Did you understand this technique? What was the focus here? The number part will remain same. 0 part will become plus or minus double of it. And double of this will be the length of the lattice rectum. Axis of symmetry, x equal to 0. Here y got to be positive. That means lies in first and y positive in second quadrant. So if it lies in first and second quadrant, it should be like this. So the focus will be here, directrix will be here. On y-axis, x coordinate will be 0 and y coordinate will be positive in this case. And here 4a is 16, so a is 4. I'll fill it up.